What is up, guys? EJ here, back with another video, and today is going to be my DVD collection for 2012 and part 2 of the sci-fi section. So last time we finished with the E's, so let's get started with the F's. Up first we have The Faculty from 1998, I believe, with Josh Hartnett, Clea Duvall, Elijah Wood, Jon Stewart is in it. Yeah, really enjoyed this film. A lot of fun, high school sort of alien horror comedy. Next we have Fahrenheit 451 from 1966. Great movie directed by Francois Truffaut, with based on the Ray Bradbury novel. Okay, up next we have one of my all-time favorite sci-fi films, and that's The Fifth Element from 1997. Directed by Luc Besson, of course. Absolutely love this film. Bruce Willis, Mila Jovovich, Gary Oldman, Ian Holm, Chris Tucker, just awesome. Yeah, every time I see this film, I just love it even more. Next we have the classic Flash Gordon from 1980, sort of brought back to life by the movie Ted, which, as most of you know, I'm a big fan of. Next we have Forbidden Planet, a great film from 1956 with Walter Pidgeon and Francis and Leslie Nielsen. Okay, next we have Frequency, a pretty underrated film from 2000 with Dennis Quaid and Jim Caviezel, sort of a time travel thriller. Yeah, it's a really good film, actually. Next we have Galaxy Quest from 1999 with Tim Allen and Sigourney Weaver. I just recently did a full review of this for the Movie Reviewers 100. So like always, I'll put a link to that review if you want to check it out. Next we have Gattaca from 1997. Really good film about cloning with Ethan Hawke, Uma Thurman, and Jude Law. Next we have Godzilla from 1998. And next we have Gojira from 1954, the original classic Japanese masterpiece, of course. I also have this on Criterion Collection. That quick take on the first Godzilla was for Sarah. Next we have Hollow Man from 2000. Sort of a Invisible Man story with Elizabeth Shue and Kevin Bacon. I enjoy it. I think the effects are pretty cool, and it gets pretty nasty the second half. But yeah, I like Hollow Man. Next we have I Am Legend from 2007. Awesome film with Will Smith, of course. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Sort of into the Will Smith section right here. Next we have Irobot from 2004. Awesome movie in my opinion, directed by Alexis Poyas with Will Smith and Bridget Moynihan. Yeah, absolutely love that movie. Next we have In Time on Blu-ray from 2011 with Justin Timberlake and Amanda Seyfried. Really good sci-fi film where time is currency. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very clever, had some really cool scenes. Yeah, I enjoyed the heck out of that movie. Next we have Inception, also on Blu-ray from 2010, my favorite film of that year and one of the best films of the decade so far, of course. Christopher Nolan's masterpiece in my opinion. Great cast, Leo, Ken Watanabe, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Ellen Page, Marion Cotillard, Tom Hardy, Cillian Murphy, Tom Berenger. Yeah, just awesome. Next we have Independence Day from 1996, of course, with Will Smith and getting the other guy's name now. Really good actor. I like a lot in Jurassic Park and The Fly, and Jeff Goldblum. Sorry. Next we have Invaders from Mars, one of these great sci-fi films from the 1950s, 1953 I believe, yep. Watched that earlier this year. Next we have Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the original from 1956 with Kevin McCarthy, Dana Winter, and Carolyn Jones. Really enjoyed this actually. It's probably my favorite of the invasion type films. And the 1978 remake Invasion of the Body Snatchers with Donald Sutherland is just as good as well. Great movie, in fact. One of the best sci-fi remakes. Okay, moving on, we have The Invisible from 2008. Sort of a teen sci-fi mystery film. Really good, actually. I really like the performance by the girl in it. Margarita Levieva, whatever her name is. She was awesome in this film, and I really enjoyed it. Okay, next we have Iron Sky on Blu-ray, which I just picked up a couple of weeks ago. Really fun, sort of Nazi sci-fi film from last year. Could have been better, but yeah, the premise is cool, and it was sort of campy fun. Next we have The Island from Michael Bay from 2005 with Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson. Great movie about cloning. The special effects and the action scenes are awesome, and it's got a decent story. This is probably Michael Bay's most underrated film, in my opinion. Okay, next we have It Came From Beneath the Sea from 1955, effects by Ray Harryhausen. Next we have It Came From Outer Space, also one of these great sci-fi films from the 50s, 1953. Next we have Judge Dredd, Ian's favorite, of course, Sylvester Stallone from 1993. I bagged on it pretty good when I talked about Dredd in the last video and when I got that movie, but yeah, I enjoy Judge Dredd. It's okay, it's not great. Diane Lane is in it, and Bob Schneider. Next we have K-Pax from 2001. Really good film with Kevin Spacey and Jeff Bridges. Kevin Spacey as a real alien who comes to New York and nobody really believes him. Next we have Knowing from like 2009. A really good film with Nicolas Cage and what's her name, Rose Byrne. Yeah, really good effects at the end, and I like these sort of end of the world type of movies, even though of course that didn't happen in December. Moving on, we have Logan's Run, a great film from 1976. Yeah, check it out if you like those sci-fi films of the 70s. Next we have Looper on Blu-ray. I also picked it up a couple weeks ago. Awesome, my favorite sci-fi film of last year. Bruce Willis, Joseph Gordon-Levitt were awesome, and Emily Blunt great as well, and it sort of went in a direction I wasn't expecting, and I thought it was awesome for that reason. Yeah, the effects were cool and the story was good. Really a great surprise from last year. Next we have the Mad Max films, the original of course from 1978 or 79 with Mel Gibson, of course. Many people consider the best The Road Warrior from 1981, and Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome with Tina Turner from 1985. Haven't seen this in ages. Gotta give these a rewatch. Ugh, back hurts. Next we have Mars Attacks from 1996. Really fun movie directed by Tim Burton. I like it a lot, and the cast is just awesome. Jack Nicholson, great as the president, Glenn Close, Annette Bening, Pierce Brosnan, Danny DeVito, Michael J. Fox, Sarah Jessica Parker. Yeah, I really enjoy that movie. Next we have the Matrix box set. Of course, the Matrix trilogy. I love the first film from 1999. The two sequels are okay. I think Revolutions is better than Reloaded. And I actually haven't seen the Animatrix, even though this box set has it. Gotta check that out at some point. Okay, next we have Melancholia from last year on 2011, sorry, on Blu-ray. Really great movie with Kirsten Dunst. Amazing performance by her. She's stunning in this film. Charlotte Gainsbourg, Alexander Skarsgård, and Kiefer Sutherland also great too. Directed by Lars von Trier. Next we have the Men in Black trilogy. Men in Black, the first one from 1997, still my favorite of the three. MIB 2 from 2002. Yeah, I really don't like Laura Flynn Boyle in this, but when I rewatched it again this year, it was better than I thought it was. At least better than I remember it being. Okay, and MIB 3, which came out last year, which I got on Blu-ray, again a couple of weeks ago. Really enjoyed it. I like the additions of Josh Brolin and Emma Thompson and Michael Stuhlbarg. Effects were cool, sort of redeemed the second one in my eyes. Next we have Minority Report from 2002, directed by Steven Spielberg, one of my favorite sci-fi films of the past decade, with Tom Cruise, Samantha Morton, just stunning. I absolutely love this film. Get back in there. Okay, next we have Mission to Mars from 2000s, sort of one of these movies about Mars that sort of failed, but I really enjoyed this movie with Tim Robbins, Gary Sinise, what's the name, Connie Nielsen, Jerry O'Connell. The effects are cool. Who else is in it? Oh, I'm forgetting his name. He just won a Golden Globe too. It'll come to me. Never Let Me Go on Blu-ray. Awesome film from 2011 with great performances by Carey Mulligan, Keira Knightley, and Andrew Garfield. Beautiful movie, in fact. Okay, next we have another one of these Nick Cage sci-fi thrillers from 2007 with Julianne Moore and Jessica Biel. You can sort of see into the future a few seconds ahead, so he can anticipate everybody's move and so on, blah blah blah. Next we have Open Your Eyes, the original Spanish film from 1997 with Penelope Cruz, that Vanilla Sky is a better remake of. Okay, next we have Outland from 1981 with Sean Connery, a great film set on one of Jupiter's moons. It's a mining colony. Yeah, really good sort of high noon type thriller. Next we have Paycheck from 2003, directed by John Woo, I believe. Yeah, really enjoyed this actually with Ben Affleck, Uma Thurman, and Aaron Eckhart. Okay, next we have Phenomenon from 1996 with John Travolta. Not a great film, but it's a pretty okay movie. Next we have Pitch Black from 2000, my favorite of the Riddick films, directed by David Twohy. Yeah, really great movie, great effects, a great surprise. Not a fan of Chronicles of Riddick, and I hear they're coming out with a new one. Next we have Plan 9 from Outer Space. Ed Wood's masterpiece from 1959 with Bela Lugosi, the worst film of all time. I actually enjoy it. Okay, next we have Planet of the Apes, the original from 1968, of course, with Charlton Heston and Roddy McDowall. And kind of sucks, I've run out of time with the music, but oh well. Planet of the Apes, the remake, Tim Burton's remake with Mark Wahlberg from 2001. I know it gets a lot of shit, but there's parts of this film that I really like. Okay, next we have Prometheus, awesome film from last year, of course, directed by Ridley Scott. Again, I picked this up a few weeks ago. Really great cast: Naomi Rapace, Michael Fassbender, Charlize Theron. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Next we have Real Still from 2011, also on Blu-ray with Hugh Jackman. Pretty dumb movie about fighting robots, but it works. That's all I'll say about it. And I'm going to end on the R's because obviously got a long way to go here. And I didn't think it would take this long to do this section. Fucking snapper cases. Red Planet, also from 2000. Again, one of these failed Mars movies. Yeah, I like Mission to Mars better than this film. But this one's okay with Val Kilmer, Carrie-Anne Moss, and Tom Sizemore. Which one fell out? Obviously, Rise of the Planet of the Apes from 2011. Great movie. Have it on Blu-ray. James Franco. Good, and Andy Serkis awesome as Caesar. I really sort of brought that movie to life. Snapper getting in the way again. Next we have The Road, awesome film, very harrowing movie, directed by Joe Carnahan. with Viggo Mortensen, Charlize Theron, and Cody Smith-McPhee. This was the first film I did for the Movie Reviewers 100, so I'll put a link to that review also in the description. And we'll get it back in. Last but not least, for the R's, we have The Running Man from 1987. One of my favorite Schwarzenegger films. Sort of got ripped off by The Hunger Games, but I love that movie too. But yeah, this film is very nostalgic and fun. But yeah, if you want to know where The Hunger Games comes from, watch The Running Man. So that is part 2 of Sci-Fi. Thank you for watching as always, and up next we'll finish up the section with part 3. So until then, I'll see ya.
Bond. James Bond.